After 3 months of silence, we've had 3 days of continuous updates from the Lucas Mirtl and Lawrence West Wasserman, whatever you want to call it, lawsuit. Now, if you missed this, if you TLDR, back in January, the Lawrences filed or fired him and filed a lawsuit saying that he stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from them, misappropriated funds to other things, to himself, whatever. If you want to actually watch that or find that, there are tons of videos for it, and I'll put a little card in the top right hand corner to the one that I made. If you feel like actually going back and finding the backstory of this, and if you weren't a part of it when it started. Well, in the last 3 days, the lawsuit has, well, actually, this is back on the 14th, which flew under the radar for like 4 or 5 days, that the lawsuit was dropped. And it didn't last very long. It was dropped for all of about a day because Jacob Hayes then gave the update that it was only dropped because of procedural problems, which, again, Wasserman in their update today said themselves. I mean, they haven't said anything in the 3 months, and as of today, as far as I could find, Wasserman, the Wasserman Group, whatever, has put out these statements, which you will see on screen in the following clips. But they basically said that the lawsuit wasn't dropped because they didn't find anything. It was dropped because of procedural problems, being the fact that neither of the Lawrences or Mirtl are US citizens, and the fact that they live in different states apparently. So it's been refiled in, I think, just Florida, as far as they said, or as far as these um, statements have said. He has been served again. It says right here, yeah, correspondence citing theft, dishonesty, and breach of fiduciary duties. And at the very bottom, it basically says that no, the Lawrences didn't do this or didn't write any of these statements. The Wasserman Group did. So who knows about that? I mean, honestly, it could have been either way. They could just be claiming it because it's an easier thing for them to do. And then this one right here, it has been refiled. Withdrew this case. They withdrew the case without prejudice, and then simultaneously filed a substantially identical claim in Circuit Court of Pasco, Florida. Blah 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 blah, saying that Mirtl was served with those paperwork or with that paperwork the 19th of March. Now, obviously, this is one of those funny things. Like 3 months of absolute silence, nothing happened. It's very strange to me that it took that long for them to figure out that there was procedural problems. Like they've got to have some of the best lawyers that money can buy. Honestly, I would assume. And of course, during this whole time, Mirtl has said he's, you know, innocent. This is them trying to drag him down. This is them trying to take money away from him. And obviously, he again has retorted to it. If you want to stop and read any of this, you can. Blah blah blah. It's basically just saying, hey, uh, there's no evidence, and well, whatever. The last 3 months, as far as I can find, he's been over in Europe with the Conans, who are still part of his client base, as is Joe Shimoda, and there's another one too. Whatever. Lucas, Sasha Cohen, and Joe Shimoda. Now, obviously, we go back to, I guess, the waiting game until something actually goes to court, until we get the full court documents or, evidence coming out. Who knows? I mean, this could be one of those things, like I said before, they could, hey, pay this or sign this and it all goes away. Here's an NDA and we'll never know. But the way this seems like, Mirtl has to defend himself not only in the legal side of things, but also the court of public opinion side of things, because when this came out, people were railing against him that, he did this, that he's wrong, he's the worst person ever. And because of that, social media went private, and all he's done is just post, I don't know how you want to say, defense of himself, saying that he didn't do it. He's, you know, there's no evidence of this, and the people that are trying to do it are just trying to take him down. And who knows? I mean, obviously, until something actually comes out, until we get the concrete kind of evidence that you can actually read, who knows if that ever will. Like I said, they could, hey, sign this paper, pay us back X amount of money or pay us X amount of money, sign an NDA, and it could all move on, or it could go to court and it could all come out. And it kind of just depends on where you fall on it. I mean, obviously, it's for him, it's hard because you're trying to defend yourself from something that, you know, makes you look horrible. For all intents and purposes, when this came out, it was, "Hey, here's this guy who had access to all of their money, had access to, all their bank accounts, and apparently, or what was alleged, is that he just used it however he wanted. I think in the claims there's something like $600,000. Supposedly, he used money to buy RVs for the Conans over in Europe and for his own personal use. And again, like if you wanted to go see that, there's a longer video I have somewhere. I'll put a card for it. But it's just for him, it looks really bad to start. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like this of agents misusing their power or trying to steal from their clients. I mean, look it, how many like parent managers have done this in the past. How many bad managers or agents there have been who've taken monies from clients. And if you're if you have your hands in and are available to, go into their bank accounts and use money, who knows? I mean, again, once we actually see some concrete evidence, and hopefully that is sometime soon. I mean, obviously, with the way the court system works, this could be years from now. It's going to be, I feel like this is going to be a very long time thing. And like the whole dropping the thing without prejudice or with prejudice, whatever it is. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. It just basically means that they can file it again. And for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming they can do that over and over again. Just bleed him dry from legal fees. I mean, if he's supposedly over in Europe, having to fly back and forth to Florida just to deal with stuff like this is going to be, you know, time, money, you know, lawyer fees. It's going to be a big thing for him. And obviously, there are people saying, "Oh, I'm bored of this. I don't care." But it is the biggest thing going on right now. I mean, if something like this is happening, it's going to be talked about, and it should be because these are two of the biggest names in the sport at the moment. Obviously, Jet Lawrence being who he is, being the golden boy, and if you can't trust your agent, who can you trust if it actually goes that way? But who knows? Obviously, again, we'll have to wait and see what goes on. But comment down below. Tell me what you think. Where do you fall on this? Do you think he did it? Do you think he didn't do it? Are you waiting to see hard evidence before you say left or right? Um, who knows? And we'll see if there's another 3 month break in updates from this or when the next thing comes out. But like I said, comment down below. Tell me what you think while you're down there. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, do all the fun things the platform allows you to do because it really just helped me out and I appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you later. Peace.